Welcome to the Adventures in Learning podcast. Today we have the legendary Carole Boston Weatherford with us. She just won the Children's Literature Legacy Award, and we're so excited to celebrate that. We also have her incredibly talented son, Jeffery Weatherford, with us, and they have the most incredible book coming out this month, Wrap It Up, which is their first collaboration as a writing team. And so we're going to be talking about Wrap It Up. We're going to be talking about their relationship working together. And I'm so excited to welcome you both to the show.
Thank you
Thanks,
for
Diane.
having us, Diane.
So let me start with some congratulations, Carole. You just got the Children's Literature Legacy Award, and that's a super big deal. Congrats. How did
Thank
you
you so
feel when you got the
much.
call?
I was totally, I was totally shocked because, of course, I was pulling for my books to be recognized in one of the categories. They weren't, but I was. So, I mean, it's a pretty nice trade-off. But I was really,
Absolutely.
really excited. It's a pinnacle, and uh, as I said, as I've told many people, the Children's Literature Legacy Award can be given posthumously, and I'm just glad to still be alive receiving it.
100%. Have you started working on your talk for June yet?
No, I have not. I'll probably start working on that in June, unless I'm told that some publication wants to, an advanced copy so that they can publish it. So then the schedule gets moved up a bit.
Well, I can't wait to see what you come up with that you want to share with all of us. I'm sure it's going to be fabulous.
Thank you.
All right. So you all have a new book coming out. Tell us about Wrap It Up.
You want
So I can take this one. So Wrap It Up is my ode to hip hop. I have been rapping for almost 20 years at this point. I started rapping in college with my college roommates when they started to do something called a freestyle cipher, which is when everybody's going around and just rapping off the top of the head. And then when the cipher uh, line of operations got to me, I was speechless because I did not know how to rap. And it was at that moment that I decided that I wanted to be able to join in these ciphers that my college roommates were having. And I learned how to rap. I taught myself how to write bars. Of course, some might say it's already in me. Of course, my mom is a writer, a poet, so already had a head start. And from there, I just fell in love with the craft. And later in my development of my own voice within hip hop, I realized that hip hop was a vehicle for expression that could reach so many youth. My mom says that hip hop is the language of global youth culture. And she's right in that it has reached all four corners of the planet. You can't go to any place on earth where they don't listen to hip hop, minus the fact if you go to a jungle where there's no technology or anything like that. So I decided that hip hop could be used as a learning tool in the fact that the first thing that we do when we walk into a room or when we meet somebody, we use our voice. And I feel like that kids should have a way to gain a command of the English language that is fun, that is interactive, that they could use it as a party trick if they wanted to. It's something that empowers the youth to feel good about their voice.
I
And
love
we know that
all of it.
because Jeffrey has conducted hip hop workshops since I think 2016. We started doing it
Wow.
together, and then it kind of became Jeffrey's baby, and he's done hip hop workshops all over the place now. He's presented at a lot of libraries, some schools, some community organizations, and the workshops are truly transformative. And this book is, I would say, a direct result of the transformative power of those workshops and our desire to empower even more kids this way.
I think that sounds amazing. When you're doing the workshops, I've seen on the website, and I know we talked about it before, that you will go pretty much anywhere to deliver the workshop. What are some of the things that happen within the workshop and sort of the transformations that you've seen?
So I would say the thread that connects all of them, the golden thread that connects every single workshop, is that on day one, the kids are timid, quiet, they're shy. But by day five, typically it's a 4 to 5 day workshop, depending on the location. But by day five, or day four, when we are actually recording the raps, they're in there rapping and like, oh, like it's a major sight to see, just to see kids who are shy, who are talking like crickets. I had to tell them to use their outside voices to, in there yelling and dancing and being able to rap. Like it's like an accelerated learning process, and it's just incredible to see. It almost brings a tear to my eye when I think about it. Um,
Yeah, and
I
some of
know
the
that.
kids actually, it's a cathartic experience for them, and maybe even I could probably say therapeutic because some of them, have some deep-seated um, issues or pain that they're working through, and sometimes I think it's really brave of them to choose to expound on their own pain or their personal experiences in a workshop like this with other teens or middle school preteens. And but some of them do get into that territory, and it's extremely moving to see them do that, use hip hop to speak to the things that have happened to them in the past, that their fears, their hopes, their dreams. It's really, really powerful.
Mhm.
Sounds
And
it.
even taking because I've had groups of kids that are all over the spectrum, like some who can't read or know how to write, that are above the age of that you should know how to do these things. And by the end of the workshops, one kid said to me, he was like, I could feel that you unlocked something in my brain. And I was just like blown away by
Wow.
that. That's exactly why I do it. Um, that's the fire, the fuel that keeps the fire burning, just seeing the transformation because it's necessary. I mean, the kids that are growing up today, in this day and age, they've gone through a lapse in education. They had to go through COVID, and that took, some kids 2, 3 years to get back into the actual education process. And learning on a screen, I can see the change. I've been to schools, all over the nation, and there's like a distinct difference in the COVID kids, if you will. I don't want to dub that term, but like they've learned through a screen. It seems like the attention span is much lower. They're underdeveloped, unfortunately, because it's hard to pay attention when you're not getting that actual I'm gonna say outside of the screen learning.
The
It's
give
hard to
and
learn
take, that
just if you're just
exchange. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And
it's
they're digital natives also. So some of the communication skills that we took for granted when we were growing up, they're not necessarily picking up. So we're hoping that this book will encourage them to communicate face to face, to have the confidence to speak out, speak up, to speak their minds and um, give them confidence that what they're thinking and feeling is valid enough to write about or to rap about. But as Jeffrey will tell you, the objective of the book is not to create rappers, not to put kids on a career path to be rappers. And some might do that, but it's a long shot. Jeffrey, why don't you tell them what the real objective of the book is?
the real objective of the book, as we said it before, is to teach kids how to express themselves, give them a learning tool that allows them to gain command of the language, so they can tell their own story, so they can uh, be their best words. If somebody, don't let other people tell your story, don't let other people talk about you. You should be the best source of information about yourself. And so, you know, all kids want to get a good job, right? Or as some kids say, I want to be an influencer, but that's a totally different story. But you need to, even if you want to be an influencer, you need to know how to express yourself. You need to know how to communicate. And rapping, that like there's a slang term is like, oh, let me rap to you. And that's not saying, oh, let me put on a beat and rap some rhyming words over it. Rapping is talking,
Mhm.
right?
In
Rapping is talking.
1960s and 70s slang, you're right. It sure
Yep.
is. It
Yeah.
sure is.
So if you know how to rap well, you can communicate well
Mhm.
because rap is a form of communication. In my opinion, one of the highest forms of communication.
And
One thing that
communication
Jeffrey
is
has
key.
discovered is that statistically, people are one of people's greatest fears is public speaking. Some people would rather die than speak in public. Is that right, Jeffrey?
Yes,
I'm not
they
one of
would
them.
rather.
I'll speak publicly if given the given the choice.
Given the options,
Given the
right?
option,
Yeah.
yeah. Given the option. Yeah. But rap is definitely a vehicle to instill confidence in kids and to validate their voices. And of course, I'm a former English professor, so we've thrown in a lot of terms that have to do with figurative language. So you'll hear onomatopoeia, simile, metaphor, and then Jeffrey has created a glossary at the end of the book that goes over some of these terms so that kids are using figures of speech anyway. But it's important for them to know that they're doing it and to know how to do it.
Yeah, I noticed you had snuck in a little bit of the English language lessons as well. I thought
Absolutely.
it was well played. Um,
Thank you.
so, in writing this book, in the past, you all have worked together where Carole, you've written the words, and Jeffrey, you've done the illustrations. How was it different where you were working together on the words and somebody else did the illustrations for this particular book?
Hmm.
Well, Jeffrey can
So
see. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, well, as it's my first authored title, being on the other end of the seesaw, the publishing seesaw, I'm gonna say that I didn't realize how much time is spent on the illustrations. Just being on the being an author and watching the illustrations go from the beginning to the end to being a storyboard to being fully developed, it takes a long time. And now I see, Mom, I see, I see how, how long it takes, but I enjoyed it being a part of the writing and actually having a voice in the illustration because I do understand, art and what the message that art conveys. So I feel like we have a very special relationship, my mother and I, in that she can tell me what she wants to go into the book, what type of illustrations she's looking for, or if she feels like there's something special that needs to be highlighted in terms of the artwork, she'll let me know that. And I had that same opportunity with Ernell. Like he knocked the illustrations out of the park. I don't feel like that there could have been a better illustrator for this project, as he's a muralist and it's murals and graffitis they're in the same family, but the distinct difference is that graffiti is illegal art and Ernell he does murals. He's commissioned for these artworks, but they're still on giant walls and graffiti is one of the pillars of hip hop. So there could not have been a better selection by
Yeah.
Macmillan.
I'm real happy with the artwork as well. Arnel Martinez is out of Philadelphia, and yeah, he is a
Yes.
mural artist up there. And this is his first children's book. But he's also a dad, so he connected with the topic as a father.
Makes sense. Do you want to share a little bit of it with us, Jeffrey?
Sure. So here's the book. Make sure everybody can see the beautiful artwork. And I'm actually, the one thing that I'm looking forward to most is going into classrooms and actually performing the book. Because although it is a picture book, there is a certain way that it is designed to be delivered. And I would love for teachers across the nation to be able to deliver it like this, but that's very high hopes. Maybe we can get this podcast out to the entire United States
I
and they
love
can
it.
hear how
Mhm.
it's supposed to be. But it is a rap, so it is a full blown rap performance, and I'm actually going to do it a cappella for you right now.
Awesome. I'm
Do you
so
want us to
excited.
Okay.
do in the hip hop zone, to say in the hip hop zone?
Absolutely. So first, you have a part because rap is, well, in my opinion, some of the best raps have call and response. So when I say your words can set you free, you're going to say in the hip hop zone. Okay.
In the hip hop zone.
In the hip
All
hop
right.
zone.
That's exactly right. All right. So your words can set you free.
In the
In
hip
the
hop
hip hop
zone.
zone.
Your words can set you free.
In the
In the
hip
hip
hop
hop
zone.
zone.
Your words can set you free.
In the
In
hip
the hip
hop
hop
zone.
zone.
Okay. So word is, I was born holding a mic pad and pen. My pops put out a record and I cooed, let it spin. My mom claims I was rapping before I could speak. Matter of fact, I freestyle like 8 days a week. Once I grabbed the mic and I rapped for 5 years straight. I earned a gold record my first time out the gate. Wait, that's an exaggeration. Call it hyperbole, but here's the real deal. You can learn to rap for me. First things first, grab a pencil and some paper. Cop a notebook too, because you're gonna need it later. Rap speaks raw truth, so write what you care about. Memories, mysteries, morals, or your whereabouts. Shout out your hopes and heroes, boast and don't be shy. Write what matters most to you, keep it fresh and fly. Breathe freestyle lyrics as if fire's in your lungs and flip figurative language like it's your native tongue. Try imagery, oxymoron, onomatopoeia, devices like decibels, bang it out of your speakers. Metaphors, alliteration, idioms, and similes, personification, puns, and those slamming soliloquies. These terms sound like germs, but don't act like you're scared. They come natural when you talk. You have a knack for flair. Peep online dictionaries for synonyms and sounds, potent words like vivid verbs and concrete nouns. Choose vocabulary as colorful as you, words fresh as green, bold as black, cool as blue. Use a rhyme and word list to power up your verse. Pick words that fit your meaning and freely intersperse. Rap makes word magic with acrobatic rhyme. Near rhyme is committed. In hip hop, it's no crime. Two lines called couplets are known as a bar. You stack your best 16 as if a ladder to a star, but you gotta fit the right amount of syllables per line. Count 11 to 15, think a nickel and a dime. And as you write, remember the rap is poetry. With rhythm, rhyme, and flow, your words can grow a tree. And once your lyrics written, dive in and perform it and practice in the mirror like the crowd is enormous. Spit your lines loud and proud till each verse is perfect. It takes time to get it right, but the words you write are worth it. You rehearse and repeat until you know your bars by heart. Let your voice paint pictures because rap is truly art. Rap is your megaphone when you're a real MC. In the hip hop zone, your words can set you free.
In the hip
Hip
hop
hop
zone.
zone.
In the hip
Hip
hop
hop
zone.
zone.
In the hip hop zone. That's
That
right.
was
All right.
awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love
So
that.
I'm looking forward to getting into classrooms and I have a beat that I've made for it that goes with it and gonna watch the kids rock out in in the classroom and turn up to the music. So
That was wonderful. And, I was thinking, Carole, you're such a poet. You've done 80 books and there's poetry interspersed in all of them. And it's so nice to hear that voice carry through in Wrap It Up as well. Like, it's just very cool to hear the poetry and to think about how you're introducing a whole generation of kids to this concept.
Right. I don't know if we're introducing them. They know about it, but we might be introducing it to classrooms through
Yes.
our book. So we're making it legit to, use to use rap in school to teach writing and public speaking and more importantly to teach to build self-confidence.
I love that. Is there a favorite page in terms of where the words and the illustrations combine to tell the story that you have?
oh man. So I think towards the end, first I love all the illustrations. So that's standard, but this is my favorite illustration right here. It is when you're practicing in the mirror, like the crowd is enormous, and it's like the perfect illustration of wanting to see your future and see yourself as you want to be. So, of course, here on the right, it's the kid. He's rapping in the mirror, but on the left, he's on stage and there's lights and a DJ behind him, and it's amazing. He's in the spotlight. So you have to see yourself as you want to be, and this that image just makes my heart glow.
That's beautiful. And the illustrations, as you guys said, are just gorgeous. They really help to tell the story. So
Thank you.
the book is coming out in March.
Right.
And I assume that you are going to be going on the road with it and continuing to do your hip hop and rap workshops with kids.
I am definitely. We actually, before the book came out, I've already had a residency in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. It's like right outside Baton Rouge, for like a 5-day workshop. And at the beginning of this month, I had a workshop. No, it wasn't the beginning.
That was for February, for Black History Month. It was
Right. Yeah,
in Easton, Maryland.
in Easton, Maryland. So
Yeah,
we've had
actually, it
two.
was the end of January. What? No, it was after. It
Yeah,
was,
what it was the end of January. It was the end
wasn't
of
it?
January.
It was before
Yeah,
we
it
went
was.
to Philly. Okay.
Yes, it was. Because it
Okay.
was, I got back from the workshop and then we went to Philly.
Yeah. And we're actually heading to Singapore in about a week.
Oh, wow.
So I'm sure we'll touch on this book in Singapore, and we've got a school visit in Silver Spring, Maryland, where they want us to focus on rap. Um, so it should be fun. We're looking forward to launching this book as best we can
Absolutely.
all over the world.
I love it. And
Yep.
I love the fact that you're taking it to Singapore. I mean, that kind of
Yeah.
goes with what you were saying at the start, Jeffrey, that
All over
it's
the world.
universal.
Yep, it is truly. Like my mom said, it's the language of global youth culture.
And when we were in West Africa in 20 that was 2016 also. We were in a marketplace, and our tour guide um, told a group of young people who were shooting a rap video that Jeffrey was a rapper. So he rapped for them in English. They rapped for him in French. They couldn't understand each other, but yet were able to get into it. And we ended up being in their video. I never saw it,
Mhm.
but they said
Me neither. To
Jeffrey
this
was in it.
day.
They said, "Come on over here, Mama, you be in it too." So
Oh, that's so
Hmm.
much fun.
yeah, so they were
Hmm.
what were they called? The Clever Crew? Is
Yeah, the
that
clever gang.
the Clever Gang? Yeah, whatever that is in French, they were the Clever Gang.
Now I'm going to have to go down that YouTube rabbit hole to see if I can find it.
Yeah, you'd have to know,
Yeah,
might have to know
you
what
if
Clever
you
Gang
find
is
it,
in
let
French.
me
Yeah,
know
yeah, let us
because
know.
I
I
haven't
will.
found it. Yep.
They were live.
They definitely were.
Yeah,
And you've got quite a few books coming out this year. Am I right, Carole? Like, I
I
mean,
do.
this is one of 3 or 4 that are due out this year. Is that correct?
But I think I actually have 6 that are coming out this year, and I just got through making a list of them for someone this morning. I don't know if I'll remember all of them, but wrap it up. Um, if Kamala can, you can too. That's already out.
Yes.
Um, when I move, a hug like Michelle's and a voice like Beyonce's. That's a companion to my book, Hair Like Obama's, Hands Like LeBron's. Um, and there's more.
That is so
I mean, if I can
exciting.
remember, 4 out of 6 is not bad, huh? Some of
You
them.
don't seem to be slowing down at all.
I don't know. Wait a
Speeding
couple of
up.
years and see how many books are coming out, you know. We'll see. I've had a busy year, um, and on a personal level. So the output is not quite the same as it was before I retired, but I retired from the university in June, and I've been busy with some family issues, but also trying to work on things that are already in the pipeline.
Makes sense. So, what's inspiring you both now, like in terms of next projects and what you're thinking about?
Hmm.
Well, we've been working on a hip hop novel like forever, so we need to finish that. I may be bringing that to Singapore with me, Jeffrey. I
Hmm.
might print it out and see
Okay.
what we can do.
Okay. Well, just like my mom just said, like my the current book, being able to work on this as rap has definitely been like a passion of mine for like almost 2 decades. Um, I really want to dig in while the iron is hot, strike while the iron is hot, I guess as the saying goes, and just start cranking out now that the world knows that I have this skill of rapping. and just carry it as far as it can go.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you all coming on to talk about Wrap It Up today. And safe travels to Singapore. And we can't
You.
wait to hear your Legacy Awards speech in June, Carole.
Thank you.